Hi, it's Deanne, and this video is for parents who are supporting children through grief, perhaps while you're trying to grieve yourself. So, with children, their cognitive ability doesn't allow them to see big picture or as much future as you. So, you may feel the impact even more because you understand more of what this means and all the ripple effect and the future. You can hold all that at once. The good news is you've had more time to develop your emotional system to handle all that. But children are more in the moment. So while they may express sadness, and then you may think, okay, they're okay now, maybe a few days, a few weeks, whatever it takes, and then they haven't mentioned it, it's likely still going to show up down the road. And what I mean by that is sometimes it's during firsts, like the first time you hang out with that same group of people when the traumatic event or the death happened. Or maybe it's when it's the same sunny season or the same location. They're playing with the same friends. So something reminds them, and it can be very unconscious. Whereas as an adult, you may have more ability to say, this is the first time we're back in this place. Children tend not to make those associations. So the way it might show up is they might just be quieter. They might have more meltdowns about seemingly small things, like about other losses. They didn't get the peanut butter and jelly sandwich they asked for. They forgot their favorite snuggle toy or blanket, or they got hurt. You may find that they are just more amplified. So, just more emotionally drained, more emotionally amplified. The other is you may see behavioral issues. So it's the next time to go do that event or hang out with those people, and suddenly they're just being a pill. They're really power struggling with you. It may not make sense, but what does make sense is they felt powerless during that situation. And so it's inside like, oh no, it's that thing coming again, or it's going to happen again, but they may not be conscious of that. So you may also see more levels of fear about seemingly unrelated things. So perhaps there was a death in a car accident, and yet now your child is afraid of storms or afraid that when you go to work, you're not coming back. And so that is completely normal. And what's helpful is I mentioned powerlessness. It's likely during the traumatic event or because of the death, they feel powerless. And so showing them what their choices are. Would you like peanut butter and jelly or turkey and cheese for lunch? Are you going to wear the railroad train pajamas or your purple ones? So, giving them choices all throughout their day is a way of reestablishing power so that they feel more stable. The second thing is when these fears or power struggles or emotional meltdowns happen is to say things that are really obvious, like you're safe right now, or you've been alive 3,769 days and that's never happened. So you're safe. I'm here. If something bad happens, we'll get through it together. So tell them the truths that you can, but avoid making promises that you can't. And last, they're going to watch you. So if out of protection of your child, you're not talking about it at all, indirectly, that can say that life doesn't matter or we don't talk about those things. So many people, and maybe you know people too, say, yeah, that thing happened and we never talked about it again. I once worked with a child who took a baby doll and put it in the trash because that's where he thought his sibling went. So we want to show kids that it matters. So even if it seems like they're fine, they haven't talked about it, and it's been weeks or months, if you have it coming up for you, or you're going to do one of those first, you'll be around other people who are in that similar situation, then you might mention it. Like, yeah, it's kind of awkward to do this without that person, huh? Or, oh, it's the month that you used to do that annual trip with that loved one who's not here anymore. That's kind of hard, huh? Just acknowledging it can make a big difference. Even 6 months down the road, having that empty chair at the holiday table, it shows them that people matter and that they're still in your heart. If something reminds you of the person or you're grateful, it just can happen randomly. Like, gosh, I'm remembering that they did these things for us, or our life was richer because they were in it in this way. That's not putting salt in a wound or making it worse. It opens that wave of grief and it lets more out over time. So together, you can help your child heal. They match your nervous system, they match your emotional system. You have more capacity, so you can help them get through this. If you want more, there's lots of great resources online, and I also have a couple PDFs. Feel free to contact me.